Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today we're doing my 600th video, so I thought we would go back to the roots of what my channel was all about when I first started, which was my little loom figures. And I thought today we would do Rainbow Dash. She's one of the My Little Ponies, but we're doing her in the Equestria girls format rather than in a pony format. So this is her, and this is what we're going to make today on our loom. Now our loom is a single loom. It's going to be in the offset position, which means that column 2 is going to be slightly higher than column 1 and 3. You're going to have the open part of the peg facing towards you, or the arrow, if you've got a rainbow loom, I hope you do, facing towards you. Now the colours that we're going to need, I'm actually using the glow blue, these little glow blue ones for her skin, because she sort of has a bluish skin tone to her, so I'm using a packet of those. I'm using ocean blue for her hair and her shirt and her boots. I'm using white, yellow, orange, red, pink, green. I'm using I think it's the lime green, as I said, orange. So this is what we're going to be making today. We're going to be double banding. When you double band, it means you take two of the same colour, okay, and you put them on your loom together to give it a bit more strength, so it's not sort of a floppy figure and everything. So we're going to start today by putting our first two yellow. We're going to do yellow at the top here, okay, and we're going to make her a little longer than my normal figures that I used to make, and the reason for that is because she's got longer legs, okay. So we're going to start by doing some yellow bands, 4 down the center. Now we're doing rainbow, as I mentioned, so beside the yellow on this side we're going to do orange, and we're going to start by putting 2 from the center to the left side, and we're going to come down 3 pair, so 1 pair, 2 pair and 3 pair, and then on the other side, okay, we're doing green. So let's get some green bands, and we're going to do green from the center to the top here. So I have a little herd of elephants running around, and my cats, my kittens, and we're going to do 3 down here. Okay, now we're going to do 2 orange from the center like that, and 2 green from the center like that. Now the other thing that you're going to need are some eyes. I use the 4mm by 7mm mini pony beads, and I find those are the best ones for me. Now because we're doing hair, I'm going to use clear bands so that they don't show through the edges here, okay. I don't want them to show through the edges, so I'm using clear. If you don't have clear bands, you can really use whatever colour you want, as long as it's either like a red or a blue, because that's going to be the colour on the outside. So I'm going to take a clear band and place it in a triangle over these 3 pegs, and I'm going to do that underneath and underneath one more time like that, okay. Now here we're going to do, this is the back of the hair neck area, and I always do this. It's a crafty ladybug technique, and I really like it. So I'm going to take 2 yellow bands, because that is the colour of my center piece here, and place them here for the neck. And then I'm going to use one of the colours that I'm using for skin tone, which is this glow blue, and I'm going to wrap it around my hook once and twice, so I have 3 little loops. And I'm going to pop that as an end cap on the end here, okay. Now what we're going to do is dig down past that little blue end cap and grab the yellow bands and loop them up. And then the next ones are going to go to one side and then to the other side. My next ones are the 2 green bands. So I'm going to grab those 2 little green bands and loop them to the side. And then I'm going to loop the 2 orange to their side, and the center yellows up the middle. Now once we've looped these little first 3 ones, what we're going to do are the red and the blue that go either side. So what we're going to do is add them to this side of the yellow and this side of the yellow for the back of the hair. So push your hook through like this, and you're going to, next to the orange side, grab 2 red bands and pull through and reclaim. Okay, then you're going to chain another 2 red bands like so, and another 2. Now before you reclaim the end of this particular pair, you're going to grab the little crossover band, and I'll show you here, this little crossover band here. Okay, you're going to grab that with your hook and add that in. Okay, so that you've got 2 red, 1 little crossover, 2 red. Then you're going to take another pair and you're going to slide these 2 bands through all of those like this. Again, don't reclaim. You're going to grab that little crossover band, add it to your hook, then reclaim with another 2. You're going to pull through, pull it through all of them. Okay, grab the next crossover band, add it to your hook, reclaim your next 2. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 6, our 6th pair. Okay, pull it through all of them, and now you can just reclaim because there's no other crossover band. And what you're going to do with that 6th pair is add it to the loop here, the peg that is holding the orange bands. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 red. We're going to do the same on the other side, going through the yellow here, but this time we're going to use blue. So pull your first pair of blue through and reclaim. Your second pair of blue and reclaim. Now your third pair of blue you're not going to reclaim straight away. Let's turn it so I can show you. Add it and then grab that little crossover band and pop the blue back on. And now you're going to add your next pair. And it can be a little tricky. Pull through. Again, don't reclaim. You're going to add the next crossover band and pop that on your hook. Grab your next pair. Pull it through. Don't reclaim because you've got to add this in here. Now reclaim. And then this is your last pair of blue bands. Pull through. Reclaim. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 pair. And your 6th pair is going to sit up here on that peg. Just make sure that all your crossover bands are in the right spot. Push them all down. Okay. Now, the next part that we're going to do is dig down and grab these 2 orange bands and loop up. That's 1 pair. And then the second pair. You're going to leave that 3rd pair, this last one from here to here, not looped. Okay. Let's do the same on this side. So 1 and then again 2. Don't loop these ones. We leave these ones free because they tie in the face to the back of the hair. And now we can loop up the middle. 1 and 2. Push everything down because now we need to add another layer, and that's going to be the face. Okay, let me get these out of the way. We're going to add our layer for the face. And this is where I'm using these lightish glow blue bands. So again, we're still double banding. We're going to be double banding for everything unless I tell you. So the 1, 2, the 3rd peg, so from 3 to 2, we're starting there. You skip this area here, okay? And again, here, 1, 2 and 3, so you're doing it on 2 and 3, and on this side on 2 and 3. You're skipping peg 1 to 2. Alright. Lay your bands for the face. Alright, now we have some from the bottom of the chin here to the side and on the other side, like that. We need a crossover band from here to here, so stretch one and pop that on. We need a neck band from here to here. I'm taking two and popping that on. Now, for the eyes, we're going to take a single band and wrap it, twist it, once, twice, and 3 times. The reason I do that is to stop the eyeballs from falling to the back of the head. I think this just sort of stops that band from falling. Now from this one here, we're going to actually do a capped band. So take your single band and stretch it, do a figure 8, loop it on itself. That's called a capped band. And we're going to pop that on these 3 pegs at the very top here to bring the head in. Now we're going to add our eyes. Now the eyes, you can either use beads, or if you don't have the beads, you can use a black band. And all you would do for a black band is wrap one black band around your hook once, twice, 3 times, like that. And you'd do this twice. Once, twice, 3 times, okay? And then you would slide that onto the band of your skin colour. And that is the same as using little beads, okay? It doesn't matter if you don't have beads. You can use this band trick. If you do have beads, this is the time we need to get them. So I'm going to use 2 of these. As I said, I believe they're 4mm by 7. They could be 4 by 6, but I think they're 4 by 7. 4 by 6? I can't remember. Pop them on your band. Now, you can use a metal threader, you can use a small hook, whatever way you would normally get those onto a rubber band. And you're going to stretch this little band that's got the eyes over these 2 pegs here. Okay, so it's not peg 1, not peg 2, but peg 3. You're going to stretch it across. And then to make it similar to a crossover band, you're going to split that band in the middle here and pop the top part of the band over that 3rd peg. Okay, so that's how we do that. Now, she also has little ears up the top here, and we're going to do that now too. So taking a single band, you're going to wrap it around your hook once, twice, 3 times. Then take a single band and we're going to cap it. We're going to stretch it, figure 8, so it's doubled on itself. Pop that on the end of your hook and slide this little cap, I suppose it's an end cap, isn't it? Slide that onto the middle of that little capped band and reclaim. Okay, and we're going to do that one more time. Stretch, loop it on itself, and move these 2 little loops, these 2 here and these 2 here, over onto that capped band. Okay, and these are going to be her little ears. Now the first pair, we can just lift these 2 green ones off. The first pair are going to sit on this orange band. So hold the orange band off and slide the ear on and replace the orange bands. Whoops, come back here you. There we are. So they're going to sit like that. We're going to do the same on this side, the green side. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Take a capped band and slide that little end cap on like so and reclaim, and then do that little capped band again and pull this over like so, and there you've got your little ear. Alright, and again you're going to lift the green band off, or there's 2 green bands, slide the little ear on like so and place the green band back. Now make sure you don't twist that. Okay, you don't want that twisted, you want to make sure that that's still straight. So those are going to be the little ears. Now, we also have little arms that we want to do, but first, one of the most important things is if you lift this neckband off, you can see that you've got this little skin tone one here, the little light blue one here. So what we're going to do is we need to lift that up and over the back, the neck bands, and that will basically, so you're putting a hook through and you're pulling it up and over, rather than how we normally do, which is go inside and pull up. We're taking these and we're pulling them up and over so that they secure the back of the neck, the hair, to the face. Okay, that's kind of locked that into place. Now what we're doing next is her little shirt, and we want the neck to be on the inside of the shirt. So what we're going to do is take 2 of the darker blue, the ocean blue, and place them across the shoulders, and 2 for the other side for the shoulders, like that. And then we're going to take 2 of the lighter blue and use those as sort of like a little open shirt area, okay, so that that has the continuity. We're going to use our ocean blue and move down 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 pair, and do that on the other side as well. 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 pair. And then for the center here we're going to use white bands, so it looks like a little shirt. And you've got your light blue here, your glow, so you're going to do your first pair of white, your second pair of white, and then 1 more pair of white, like that. Okay, so you've got 3 pair of white. Next we're changing to pink for her skirt, and we're doing 2, and there we go, and 2 on this side, and we're doing double banding still, so it's 2 bands like so, and then we've got to do 2 here as well, so 1 and 2. Now we need these obviously to be a skirt, not short, so take another pair and move them from the center to the right, and from the center to the left. Sorry about that. And we need to put a little end cap on this one as well. Try and make sure that these bands are not tangled. Taking a single band, wrap once and twice, and pop that here as an end cap. We are going to frill this out a little bit, but what we should do next are her arms, okay? So taking one of the skin tone ones that we're using, which is the lighter blue, wrap single band once and twice. Now we're going to do 4 pair of the skin tone in a chain, so slip your end cap over. That's chain number 1, okay? Let's do another chain. Oops, get back on my hook. Thank you. That's chain number 2. Chain number 3. Chain number 4. And now we're going to do 2 chains in the darker blue. Chain number 1 and chain number 2. Okay, so you have 4 little chains in the light blue and 2 in the darker blue. That's going to go on this top blue peg. That's her first arm, and then we're going to repeat the exact same thing for the other side. So a single band, wrap once and twice, your first pair of light blue, second pair of light blue, third pair of light blue, and here's our final pair of light blue. Now we need to do 2 pair of the darker blue, 1 and 2, and we're going to add that to the other shoulder, this one here. Alright. We also need to do some crossover bands to make all of this sort of linked together, otherwise you're just going to have these rows that aren't linked together. We're going to do those in the darker blue because that's on the edge here. So taking a single dark blue, stretch it across this first triangle area, In this second triangle area, we're going to use a capped darker blue so that it cinches it in for her waist. So take the single and wrap it around your fingers so it's capped and pop that across. We're going to do a single capped band here of blue. Not capped. Single, not capped. And then do 2 in the pink. 1 and 2. Okay, these 2 pegs from peg, I don't even know what number it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So from 11 to 12 and 12 to 13, you're doing the double in the skin tone of the blue. And on the other side as well. Like so. Next we need to do her shoes. Okay, so to do her little boots, what we're going to do is take 2 white bands, wrap them around your hook once and twice. Take a pair of the blue, the darker blue, and slide those on. Don't reclaim just yet, okay? We're going to take 2 more blue bands and wrap once and twice. And then we're going to pop this end back on your hook. Now, with 2 more blue bands, you're going to slide all of this on. Careful doing it. You might want to try doing the first 2 loops first, then the band you twisted to get it all on, and then you can do the other 2 loops. Make sure you don't leave anything behind. Like I can see I've got 1 band here, 1 loop. Oh, now I've put 2 over. Let's try that again. Get over there. Sometimes it's not easier when you're going slow. And then the last 2. Okay, so we've got all of that on there. Reclaim so that you've got all 4 loops on your hook like this. You can pretty this up a bit later. It doesn't really matter. Another 2 bands, blue. Okay, and pop that here. And then what we're going to do is take 1 of each of these, a yellow, an orange and a red. Now what you're going to do is slide the yellow over the little boot like that and over the top of your hook, so it's sitting here like this. Now you can do it with all 3. If you're going to do it with all 3 at once, start with the red like that, and then the orange, put it over like that, and then the yellow. So you're basically just putting your, I mean, you can do it from this side of your hook as well if you don't have a great big ergonomic handle. So then what you're going to do, okay, is hold your band, whichever one at a time, do a little twist in it, so you've got a figure 8 and loop it on the other end, okay, and do the same with the next one. With the orange, hold it, give it a twist and pop it on the end of your hook, and one last time with the red one, hold it, give it a twist, pop it on the end of your hook like that. Now what we're going to do, if you can see, we have got the blue bands. You've got the 2 loops of the blue band here and the 2 loops of the blue band here. We're going to take our next 2 blue bands, pop it on the end of our hook, and we want this to go through all of this. Okay, so it has to go through, whoops, come back here you, slid off my finger. We want it to go through all of this, and it can be a bit tricky, so hold it nice and tightly. If you can not do my trick and throw bands all over the place, hold them nice and securely like that. Pull this down and you're going to be pulling this through, and twist your little hook so that you can get it all the way through like that, and get rid of the cat hair. There we go. Okay, and that is how I did her socks. Now if you want this to be, I quite liked it quite loose like this, but you can, what you can do if you want it a bit tighter is pull this so that it's got more yellow on this side than this side. Again, twist it once and pull it around the whole thing. Okay, so you're pulling it to make it tighter, twisting it, popping the whole foot through, the loop like so, pull it up so it's above the yellow, and then the same with the red, pull it so it's tighter, give it a twist, pop the whole sock through, or boot I should say, and pull it up to the top. And that is how I made the little socks look like they were tighter. If you like the loose look, go for that. It really doesn't matter. You can angle your little boot because this is sort of like a little hinge, so depending what side you're putting your foot on, so if you're going on the left side, you'd have it angled this way, okay, and you just pull it open and pop on like so. Let's do it for the other foot. You start with 2 white bands, wrap around your hook once and twice. With 2 blue, you're going to pull those onto the 2 blue. Don't reclaim just yet. Now, at this stage, if you wanted to, you could preload your little bands here. You can pop them on the end of your hook like this. If if it's not going to get in your way, that's perfectly acceptable. Get another 2 bands, wrap once and twice, pop on the end, okay. Another 2 bands, you're going to slide this all the way through, okay, like so. Oops, make sure you go through all of them. There we are, pretty that up a bit, even it up. So that's our little hinge. Now we have 2 bands. This is where we're going to do our little twist. So take your first yellow, well, it's your only yellow, but your first band, twist it and add. Second, twist and add. Third, twist and add. So there you go, you've got all 3 of your bands on there. Your last 2 blue bands. Again, you're going to grasp this firmly and pull through all the way like so. And angle it to the right way. I'm going to do this one without tightening it up. Pop this on the end like that. So if you want them just loose, you can. So we'll do this foot just loose and we'll do this one as tight as it is. Now we need to start doing some looping. So we're going to start at the feet. Pull back the foot, the boot, grab those light blue bands that we're using as skin tone, and we loop these 2 blue bands up to the peg above us, okay. Loop up the next 2. I'm scared I'm going to hit my camera here. I feel like I'm close. Down past that end cap, okay, and we're going to grab the 2 top pink, loop them across, and then we go for the next 2 and loop them to their corresponding side, and then we are going to loop up. Make sure you get both of them. There we go. Now, before we're going to go further, we need to add some extra puffiness for the skirt, and we're going to do that in pink. We're going to use these light blue bands on either side. So you're going to put your hook through like that. Take 2 and pull through, reclaim. Take another 2, pull through, reclaim. Now this third pair, we're going to add the crossover band. So pull through, do not reclaim. You're going to grab this pink band, okay, this crossover band here, put it on your hook, and then reclaim. And then your last pair of pink, pull through, reclaim, and add to this peg here that has the pink and the blue combined. So that's there. So you've got 1, 2, 3 and 4 pair. Let's do the other side. You're going through the skin, so the light blue. Here's your first pair, then your second pair is just another chain. Your third pair is a chain that you are not going to reclaim. Okay, keep it on your finger. Grab the crossover band, add it to your hook, and then reclaim. Then your next 2 pink, pull through, reclaim, and they go here. Okay, so add those like so. Now we're going to continue doing our looping up. So dig down, get those bottom 2 pink and loop up, and on this side bottom 2 pink. Make sure you push the other bands out the way. Now I like to just lift these top 2 bands up. Okay, and I'm going to lift those up and loop up, and then I put those top 2 bands back. I think it just looks nicer with the skirt. Again, I'm going to lift those up, hold them out to one side as I dig down, find my bands, loop them up, and then pop these ones back in place. We can do these ones here. Work our way up the center. You do not want to go to the blue bands, so just stop at the white. We're doing the darker blue. Oops, come on both bands, thank you. I knew I was going to hit the camera, I am sorry. It's a little bit close. There we go. There we are. Now to the arms. 1, and then on top of this other arm here. Now we're going to do the shoulders. One across and 2 across, and loop up the neck so that the neck is on top of those 2 blue shoulder bands. So now at this neck portion, you're going to dig all the way down past all those blue bands and grab those bottom 2 light blue bands that we're using as skin tone and loop them up. Then we're going for the top 2, loop them to their side. The next top 2, they go to their side, and the middle ones, which you might have to dig around for because you've got that neck band, they go up to the center here. You can loop up and up, but you don't want to go further than that just yet because we have hair and stuff to add. So here we're going to loop these 2 light blue bands up, and again the next pair, they can go up. Make sure you're only getting the light blue bands. You don't want to be adding anything else. Come down and grab this side. Those 2, pushing the crossover bands back. Okay, so now at this stage we have sort of like her bangs to do, and it's really hard to do sort of normal bangs. So what we're going to do is just do a couple of chains in orange and a couple of chains in yellow. I said that back to front, didn't I? I held orange and I was talking about yellow. Taking a single yellow, wrap it round once, twice, 3 times. Come on, there we go. And you're going to chain, again we're working in pairs. First, second pair, third pair, and 4th pair. Then keep this down the bottom of your hook. Again, single band, wrap it once, twice, 3 times. And we're doing 6 pair for this one in orange. 1, 2, and you're just putting the orange bands on. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now with one more pair of yellow, you're going to go through all of them like that. So what we're going to do is pinch this and take it off, And we're going to either put something on it just to hold it. If you've got a stitch marker, fantastic. You might not have a stitch marker. You might have a spare hook that you can use just as like a little holding hook. You could use a toothpick, a chopstick. As I mentioned, you could use a stitch marker. They work nicely too. You could use a bobby pin and just use a bobby pin to hold it. But anyway, we're going to have that ready in a few minutes to use. So put that to one side. Now, the other thing, the other side is going to be a few little bands of green, and they will be the green bangs on the other side of her head. We're looking over here. Yes, we are. What we're going to do, lift off this the top 2 blue bands, okay? And we're going to dig down here, past all the end caps, find the 2 green bottom bands, and we're going to loop those up like that. And we're going to pop the blue band back, okay? We're going to do the same on this side. Lift up the red, the 2 top red, leaving the bottom 2 red there. Dig down, find those 2 orange bands, and loop up, and then replace with the red. Okay, so we've done that. Now we're going to do the green here. What we're going to do is take 2 green, flip this on its side, and where you can see the 2 green here, and you've got 2 blue, and then you've got another 2 blue, and you've got the 2 green this side. We're going through the 2 green and just 1 of the blue. Okay, you can just use 1 of the blue like that. Let's make sure we're in focus, because I would hate for you to be not seeing what I'm doing. And whoops, I grabbed another one by mistake. Pull those 2 green bands back through. Whoops, didn't do that terribly carefully. Let me show you again. We're pulling these 2 green bands back through like so, and reclaiming. You're going to chain another 3. So that was 1, this is 2, so it's to be 4 in total. So you've got 1 and then you're chaining another 3, so that's 4 in total. So we've done 2, this is 3. Should we do 4? Let me see. No, we'll do 3. 3 sounds good. Let's just do 3. Okay. Now, what we're doing, leaving these on your hook, we need to dig down here to these 2 green bands that are on the bottom of this first peg on the right hand side. So you're lifting these 2 green bands up. You're going to thread this through these 2, like that, through those loops, and you're going to attach onto that first peg. This is going to be part of the bangs, okay? You can also lift the 2 orange from here and loop those onto that first peg. Now, this yellow, this is an important one, okay? What we're going to do, popping this back on your hook, you're going to have the yellow pointing away from you and the orange closest to you. So pop this back on your hook, like so. Dig down, grab the 2 bottom yellow bands, popping these on like so. So now the yellow is facing me because it sort of does a turn, and I'm looping that up there. Okay, I'm going to get 2 yellow bands, push my hook all the way through all of that, and I'm going to bring this up through to the back of that first peg, one over the other, pull tight, and we're going to take this off our loom. I'm using the back of a hook that does not have the ergonomic handle, and I'm gently going to ease this off. I do not want to stretch this any further because I don't want band breakage. Band breakage at this stage of the game would be a bit miserable. Gently ease your figure off. And in some cases it'll be a bit tricky because you've got a lot of bands on there, which is why I don't suggest just ripping it off. Gently does it. onto the skirt. Again, there's extra bands here, extra layers, so it can be a bit difficult to get them off. And all the way to the bottom. I'm going to move my loom out of the way. Now, if you have a look, that's how she looks with the loose bands as her foot. This is how she's going to look with the tighter bands. It is completely up to you which version you like best. Personally, I think I prefer the tighter look, and I'm going to make sure that these look more uniform. I prefer the tighter look. I think it looks nicer. Izzy preferred the other look, but I'm going to basically just pull this. I'm going to pull it away, I think. Oh, I'll pull it toward the front. Pull it toward the front, do a little twist, open up the loop and pop it through. I'm going to do that for all of them so that it's all symmetrical. There we go. Make sure that the orange band is above the yellow, and I'll make sure that the red is above the orange. So there we go. That's how I did her socks, like that. Pull out the skirt just so that you're stretching it into shape. And I do have to say, things do sort of settle down shape-wise. The bands get a bit stretched, so they do settle down after you leave them for a couple of hours. But you might sort of want to put your hook in and just make sure that your bands are even back and front after they've been on the loom. I like to pull my arms up and down, just to get those arms straightened out. Pull the face a little bit. Make sure that the eyes are sticking out. Now, this bit I'm quite happy with, this little green bit. I think that's going to be fine. There's your ear. What I am going to do is poke my hook through the middle of the red here and poke her ear through the other side like that, so that her ear is poking out. And I'm going to see if I can do the same on this. Maybe just go through to the orange. I'll keep the red bands where they were and just have her coming out of the orange there. That one I think is fine. Now, the tie-off bands, I'm going to go through. If you look, there's a gap between the blue of the head and the rainbow of the hair. We're going to push all the way up to the top till we can pop out here. I'm going to grab those two bands and we're going to pull them back so that they are inside between the hair and the face. We can hide a multitude of sins there. Okay, and don't worry, we're not finished with the hair yet. We've got quite a bit to do. Now, with her bangs, what we want to do is we want the yellow to sort of flip up onto the top here, like so. Okay, so I'm going to go through the end cap of the yellow, like this. And with a yellow band, I'm going to flick it. I'm going to go through like so, and I'm going to do a little slip knot like that. Okay, working out where I want my yellow bang to be. If you have a look, I'm going down 1, 2, 3, maybe to the fourth. See, this is my fourth band. I'm only going to go through the loops at the back, so I'm going to push my hook through those loops at the back, grab that little tie-off band and pull it through like so. Okay, just so that it looks like it's on top. Okay, like this. If you want it a bit further, that's fine too. Now what I'm going to do is attach that to the red. Okay, and again you're going to work out where you want this. So I think it's probably 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go from the outside to the face, and I'm going to pull this through like so. Okay, so this is going to be how my bang is going to be. I'm then going to be pushing my hook through the orange. I've got a cat hair there, let's get rid of that, thank you very much. Through the orange end cap, like so, and I'm going to grab the end of that yellow, which is just poking out on that third red band, and I'm going to pull that back through the orange end cap. so that the orange end cap, the orange band is sort of looped up like that too. Sort of like a Farrah Fawcett fringe or bang or whatever you want to call it. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to stretch this little yellow loop, and I'm coming down to about this spot here. So if you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'm not going through this red band that goes at the angle. This is my last one here. I'm going to grab some red bands. I'm working in pairs. I'm pulling my pair of red bands through that pair of bands there, and I'm adding the little yellow loop to it, like so. Okay, and that's my chain 1. I'm chaining 6. Chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, chain 5, and chain 6. Okay, so I've chained 6. I'm now going to go into the last 2 that you can see here of the orange. Okay, so I'm pushing through the orange and put those red ones back, and I'm going to chain 5 orange, starting with the first one. I've still got my red on here. Pull through. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now number 5 is going to go through all 4 loops that I have on my hook here. 5, like that. I'm now going to go through these 2 of the yellow. Okay, we're doing 4. I'm going to get rid of those orange so they're out of the way. We're going to chain 4 in yellow. Go through. We're keeping the orange on my hook. 1, 2, oops, I lost one. Let's grab it. 2, 3, and the 4th pair are going through all 4 loops, like that. Now, I'm going to put a little hook here. Again, if you don't have a holding hook, you can use a stitch marker, you can use toothpick, safety pin, paper clip, whatever, just to hold that out of the way. We're now looking back here. If you see, these are the last 2 of the blue before it goes in at an angle. We're going to go through these 2 blue. Let's get rid of the yellow. We're going to do 6 pair of blue, okay, in a chain. This is number 1. Number 2. Number 3. 4. Oopsie. 5. And our lucky last, number 6. Now we're moving to green. And we're doing 5 pair. So go through the last stitch of green here, and we're doing 5 pair, keeping your blue on your hook. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pair number 5 is going to go through all 4 loops. 5. Okay, we need one more yellow band, because what we're going to do now is we're going to take this side of the yellow loops. I'm going to pull this all the way down so you leave the other one on your hook, on your holding hook. This yellow is going to go through these 2 green loops like that, and you're then going to pop the other side on, so you have that pair of yellow bands is holding all of these colours. With a single yellow, you're going to go through and do a tie off, which is one over the other, and pull tight. Now This side looks really ugly, but the other side, if we pulled it through like this, that looks much prettier. To make sure that we're going to get that other side, we need to pull this loop in. So from the back, go through the yellow like this, through the green, grab the end of your yellow tie-off band and pull it through like that and give it a tug, and then it comes out the other side. And then you're just going to sort of weave this tie-off band up through the inside of these yellow bands, okay, so that nobody can see it. It's going to be hidden back there. Nobody's going to see that, but there you have her long hair. You can pretty this up. I think I've got a band, one band is longer than the other, so again, just put your hook in and stretch them so that they even themselves out, like so. You can sort of curl them a little bit so that they are in place. Stretch her little face out so that it's not long and it's in a bit of space. The little yellow band, there's not much you can do about that, but it kind of relaxes. You can sort of pull it so that it's not as visible. If you pull it, it's not too visible. I want this yellow orange, I mean, is a bit longer than the other. I want them to be even. It's not really going to work for me if I even it up this way. There we go. I think that did it. Maybe I stretched that one as I was making it. It will all relax over a little bit of time. Fiddle with her ears so that you're happy with the position that they're in. I think I am. I'm okay with the green side of the bangs. I think the eyes are popped out enough. You can just sort of gently make sure that they're visible. You don't want those stuck at the back of her head. So there we go. And there we have Rainbow Dash. I hope you like her. I thought she was really rather sweet, and Izzy immediately recognised, as did her. Well, our little friends next door have got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, I'm sorry, and a 7-year-old, and they recognised her as well and had asked me to do the Equestria girls, I should say. So there we are. There she is. Here's a little chum. This is one I made last night. As I said, you can just flip these up to make them bigger or pull them down to make them not so curly-whirly. But hope you enjoy making. If you like this video, big thumbs up would be lovely, and please subscribe to my channel, then you'll find out when I have new content. Take care everyone. Bye bye.